Okay, welcome to Black People Love Paramore, a podcast where we chat about the traditionally quote-unquote unblack things Black people go up for. Please rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, 5 stars only because we are 5-star bitches. Word to Yo Gotti. I'm your host, Sequoia, and joining me today, we have a special guest. He is a television writer for a plethora of shows at this point, a stand-up comic, and he plays James on Freeform's original series, Single Drunk Female, and also my boyfriend, Garrick Bernard.
Hey, it's me again. I'm back. Bitches. Let's go.
He's been on the podcast. I forget that you have been on the podcast before. It was like 8 years ago.
Wow, I can't believe you are forgetting the times when your love has joined the podcast, but it's okay. Don't worry about it.
How could I forget?
It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It hurts my feelings every time. Let's do it.
I mean, I think you're going to be fine. So today we are talking about something that is near and dear to Garrick's heart. Which means absolutely, it means nothing to me at all. But I noticed a lot of you Negroes like it. Y'all seem to have a strong affinity
Negroes.
Yeah, a lot of you Negroes, because I'm nothing like you Negroes, a lot of you seem to have...
Oh my God, this is so disrespectful. How did we get here?
A lot of you
How did we get to this disrespectful place?
A strong affinity for Kung Fu. And I think I can understand.
Yeah.
But I thought that I would bring on...
The wild thing is you love like MMA. You love combat sports. So the fact that you haven't seen a good... I think it's because you haven't seen a good Kung Fu movie. I think that's what it is. I think you...
Does Rush Hour constitute?
No.
It's not.
Although it is fantastic and it is perfect. And Jackie Chan is the reason why most Black people exist. I feel like he spread his wings. And Michael J. White saw him and he was like, I'm going to be that. And then a plethora
these are strong
of
claims.
anime Negroes.
Here's a Black man saying that the reason that all of us exist is Jackie Chan. I just would like, this to go on record as what it is. That's a very strong claim.
He is the...
But before we get into Jackie Chan of it all...
of the Black race.
Please, before we get into the Jackie Chan of it all, and the general Kung Fu of it all, we have our first segment called In My Defense. In My Defense segment where we bring one controversial opinion and we defend it for you all. Garrick, did you bring something to defend for the people? And on a level of 1 to 10, how controversial is this take?
It's a light 7.
There's a man on my roof right now and he really is just scared the fuck out of me. What the fuck is going on?
Is he working on it?
I don't know what the hell he's doing. Anyways, okay, you said on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a light 7. That's pretty heavy.
It's a light 7. It's a light 7.
That's way higher than I thought you were gonna go.
Yeah,
that's way higher. Okay, now I'm interested because
I'm coming for niggas now.
You do have controversial opinions, but none that you really share out loud like that. So
I feel like if I'm going to come on my girlfriend's podcast, I feel like I need to come with something that is near and dear to my heart, some actual takes, something that I truly believe.
We getting some real Garrick Bernard hot takes right now. All right, we ready for your In My Defense? What'd you defend it?
Okay, in my defense, I believe that being tall is a curse. I think that being 6'2" or taller means that you never really had to develop a personality, so you're just a piece of shit.
Wow. Okay, so now the people are gonna want to know your height, Garrick. The people are gonna want to know.
I am barely 5'10", standing my tallest.
Okay,
like I have to be like
upright.
Upright.
When you breathe in,
like
right.
Like at the doctor, I have to like take a breath in, stand with my chest out, like literally feel and meditate to feel as if I am levitating to be 5'10".
Not levitating to get the height up. I heard a rumor about you. I heard a rumor that you got a surgery in order to be taller. That you got a back surgery.
I got that back surgery.
In order to be taller. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is 100% true. I got a spinal surgery that added another spinal column or spinal piece disc to elongate my neck and make me half an inch taller. Yes,
that's what absolutely. I thought. I didn't want to out you just directly on the show, but
No, it is what it is.
I'm happy that you're willing to come to terms with that's absolutely what happened. That take is pretty. It's you know what? I have to agree. As a chronically short person, as someone who has spent the last 27 years below average height,
Yeah.
I have done just fine for myself.
Right. But you feel pressed often, I'm sure. And you go through life feeling pressed or getting pressed in general. So, I mean,
I never got pressed. Nobody gonna press me.
All right. Okay. Well, this is speaking on men, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There have been many a times where I have talked shit or on a light level to talk shit or whatever and have gotten swung on because this person did not want me to be talking to them in the way that I'm talking to them. Niggas just swing. They either buck up or would be like, oh, what's going on, boss? Blah, blah, blah. What are you talking about my mom? I would immediately go for people's moms. I think that might be the reason. Wow. But
that's what it is. It's not you talking about niggas' moms.
It might have been that. It would have been. Somebody was talking about tattoos, and then they talked about me being dark, and they're just like, this is in middle school. And it's like, you probably have tattoos, but you're so dark we can't see them. And I was like, yeah, you can't see that these are all the positions me and your mom do. So,
oh my God, middle school Rick, so edgy and edgelord.
Now we were fighting. I was an edgelord. Now we're fighting. And I feel like if I were taller, nobody would. Yeah, it's mad disrespectful. If I were taller, and that's what niggas do. Like that's general talk. Like that's just how people talk to each other. And I feel like if you're taller, you can build up a confidence because nobody's fucking reaching you. You know, nobody's reaching your chin. So me being reachable means that I am teachable. So they will swing.
If you're reachable, you are teachable. Wow.
So that means that they will swing, they will do whatever, they will get in your face. If you're, you can't like get into the face of somebody taller than you because you're getting in their chest, technically. So
you're getting in their chest, and that's embarrassing.
I'm saying that all of those situations build character and they build a fear of man or at least a respect of man.
Okay.
So when you were I'm watching Winning Time with the HBO show talking about the Showtime Lakers, and I'm just watching Magic Johnson be super confident about being mediocre at best at basketball. For his time he was great, but if he was in the league now he'd get washed. But I attribute a lot of that to him being tall. Like he grew up as a garbage man's kid. He would on summers, he would, pretty much take out the trash with his dad. He got really good at basketball. And within that, 3-year span of time, everybody's talking to him like he's a god, for one, being good at basketball. And then for two, being as tall as possible. Tiger Woods wasn't having that. Tiger Woods was super good at golf, but nobody gave a shit because he's about as tall as the average person. So you're not really looking up to them.
Wow. Well, you know what? That definitely tracks. Also, I would like to say, as someone who's been 5'2" for years, it comes in handy on airplanes. If you are tall on an airplane, it just sucks for you because the thing about me is I'm always going to recline my seat. So it doesn't bother me when other people recline their seats because, again, my legs are 3 inches and I'm always going to do it because my back hurts.
My back hurts all the time.
You tall people get the advantage in every other portion of life. On an airplane, this is my realm. Thank you. Yeah. That's all that is.
You better pray and hope that you are rich enough to get first class or like that extra, flight, whatever, the extra leg room joint or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna put my seat back because I don't really give a fuck about you, about who's behind me, all of that stuff. This is the only time that I could teach you a lesson.
Are we bad people? Does this make us bad people?
Maybe. But you know who's worse? Tall people. Tall people are probably worse.
No, 100%. Okay, let's move on to the song of the week. I brought a song of the week that I know you're going to love because, what song did you bring?
I brought Off the Wall by Michael Jackson. We have been on a light Michael Jackson kick. And I don't know what spawned it. I think I was just driving one day and I was like, oh, let me just, I'm kind of tired of this liked playlist. let me just play something. Let me just put something on. Let me just go back through a catalog. I started off with Stevie Wonder, and I was like, man, he had some bangers. This is crazy. And then I was just like, let me just go back to why and figure out why everybody loved Michael Jackson so much.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I remember seeing a video of him just selling out a stadium, and it's just, 100,000 people, just him. And I'm like, there has to be a reason why. Maybe I was missing something. Maybe as an adult, I need to go back through his catalog and listen to his stuff just to be like what the whole vibe was. And when I tell you, I was losing my mind just listening to this man, not for the first time, but just like for the first time as an adult.
Like he really was sitting with it, like as an adult.
Sitting with it and like comparing it to music of today's era. He was so ahead of his time. It's truly astounding to even think about.
The layers in it is actually very crazy. The production of it, everything was really wild. Fucking crazy. You literally texted me one day, just out of nowhere. You were like, Michael Jackson's incredible. like 2 months ago. You're like, Michael Jackson is fucking incredible. And I was like, yes, how do we arrive here? And you're just like, I just been listening. It's been great. We took a little night drive, played some Michael Jackson, it hit.
Oh my God. Because it makes you want to, like, if you're stuck in traffic, it makes you want to stop the car and get out and like La La Land and dance on top of your car. Because it's a whole vibe that you have to experience and be entranced in and actually go out and do whenever you listen to Michael Jackson. I've never sat still listening to anything that he's put on or put out. I remember the day when he passed, I was at school and I don't know if this woman was a professor or a student there, and she was maybe a little bit older, but she was running through the quad, just telling every Black person she knew, Michael Jackson died. Michael Jackson died.
Oh, no.
It was almost like a Black Paul Revere about Michael Jackson's death.
So first of all, you couldn't tell if this person was a student or a professor? How old was
No.
How old was this person?
No, she had to be, I was 19 at the time, so she's at least 32. So I was like looking at somebody who was 32 years old, being like, yeah, damn, this bitch old, or whatever.
Wow.
It was wild. It was very hilarious. I was very high at the time and eating a Subway sandwich with my buddy Robert and Trayvon. Just a
heathen. Oh my gosh.
I was bad. I should have dropped out earlier, but yeah.
And you were 19. Oh, you were 19. Okay. You were in college. Okay, because I was about to say Michael Jackson died at the end of June. Why was you still in school? You were in college.
Yeah,
this makes sense.
It might have been a summer class at like a community college.
It was probably a summer class. Okay,
yeah, my parents love doing that shit.
Now that we're on the topic of Michael Jackson, I have a song that I brought as well. Can you guess? Can you just say, I'm going to give you 3 guesses. The artist is not Michael Jackson. I'm going to give you 3 guesses.
Oh, it's the fucking Weeknd. Oh, it's some bullshit. Oh my God.
Garrick is the Weeknd's number 1 fucking fan. We are going to Coachella next weekend, and Garrick gets to see the Weeknd, and he's really excited about it.
I am disgusted. I hate it. I need to before for the people. I feel like I need to explain why I don't like him.
Please explain why you don't like the Weeknd. Go for it.
One day, back to High Escapades. This is like when I first started smoking. So like, again, 19. Driving my friends around. I am pretty high. And just driving, just being, I'm skipping over my words because I'm like, should I announce that I was driving under the influence? But I don't care.
I thought you were sober, first of all. James said that he was sober, so I'm confused. Oh,
James is not me. Haha. He is a character I play on television.
That's crazy.
But I was high driving, and my friend put on some Weeknd song. I don't remember what it was. I think he put on an album, so it was like 2 or 3 songs deep. And you know when you're high and you're really like caught up in your own thoughts, and then the world kind of, you know, launches into whatever deep thought that you're having.
Yes.
I feel like that's what happened with The Weeknd, but with like his shaky ass lamb voice. And I had such a pure reaction to the disdain that I had for him, where I was just like, what is this sound?
Boo!
Get it off. Turn it off. Turn it off right now, because this is terrible. Whoever this singer is, whoever the singer is, I do not like his voice. And maybe it could have been he was going in and out of the waviness that I don't really like, where they're going in and out of pitch. And I'm just like, why would you, this in and out of pitch thing that like truly annoys me. It almost sounds like if a fly gets in your ear, like that, like kind of noise.
This thing Garrick hates, it is a fly getting in his ear and music that sounds out of pitch. So it's really funny that those 2 things are connected, because you said separately how you hate each of those things. And it's funny that you connect those things as well.
And The Weeknd is that to me.
And The Weeknd is a fly that's in your ear.
That's in my ear.
Okay.
Yes.
You're wrong. But sure, we'll go with that. The song that I brought, you're not even going to know the song, but it's House of Balloons / Glass Table Girls by The Weeknd. It's early The Weeknd. And this song has been just really getting to me lately. I don't know what about this song has really been getting to me, but I miss druggy The Weeknd more than his current. He's in a demon era right now. That's terrifying. I'm actually not looking forward to seeing him at Coachella, because he's doing this weird demonic shit. His last album, what was it called? It was something FM. I don't remember. Something FM. This last album that came out, I listened to it once through and had to sage my fucking house afterward, because it was demonic. Like, it had little interstitials in there that were telling people to kill themselves. It's too much. I don't know what he's going to do.
I didn't get to that part.
Of course, you didn't listen to it. What you talking about? You didn't get to that part.
I listened to it.
You did?
I listened to it. Yeah, I did actually like it. I liked it enough.
You did? Who are you?
It was, I don't know. I liked it enough to where I was like, I wasn't going to rethink his discography, but I was like, oh, this is like a fun vibe. I get why people like him. I was at least coming around to, I get it.
Wow.
Yeah, I do, because I think I love disco and like funk stuff over a lot.
You do. Yeah. And this one, he definitely has been more in a disco-y era with these last couple albums than the previous material he's put out. But I miss his dark pop era. His dark pop, his
Toronto era.
His Toronto era, his pure drug. All I talk about is drugs in my music.
Right.
The Weeknd. I loved that. I miss his musty hair.
His musky hair.
His musty hair. His hair just looked like it had a stench to it. The palm tree musty hair.
You missed like the large 3 dreads that he had.
The large 3 dreads. I was so sad when he cut it off. I was like, you just look like any other nigga now. You look like any other light skinned nigga now. Before.
Oh my God. Before he looked dirty. That's not good. He looked greasy.
I wasn't I didn't think he was cute. I just liked it. I was like, yeah.
Right. He looks like one of those like back massagers from Home Economics or whatever the fuck that shit is that you kind of just put on
like
your back.
A machine.
A machine,
a back massager.
Yeah.
Stop. Leave The Weeknd alone. It's like essentially if Post Malone suddenly started cleaning up. I don't want that. Like, why would I want that?
I get why you would want like a greasy Post Malone. You need a greasy Post Malone. You need somebody to be sultrily singing while looking like a dirty dish rag. That's fair. There
are very few niggas who were singing back in the day who also look good. Have you ever seen Marvin Gaye?
Yeah, Marvin Gaye
wasn't giving.
No,
wasn't giving at all. No,
but I mean that's because people you didn't need to see them as often, right? So like now you're seeing them constantly, and it's just like, ooh, you were tough to look at. I can't even hear what you're singing.
Because you're fucking ugly.
That's the sad reality of America, where we'll put like the prettiest people on TV that are not, good at this.
Oh, is that a light flex? Well, you are good at this, but is that a flex?
I was talking about myself. I was talking about myself. I was like, I think I look good, but I'm like, I can use some work. Like an acting department. Right. Yeah, but I mean, I'm also talking about like with singers, where it's just like, oh my God, this person sounds terrible, but I'll listen because if I see them at a party or something like that, it's just like I might faint, So it's switched over to where it was just like all radio stuff, and it's just like, all right, it doesn't really matter. I'm just listening to it with Marvin Gaye. It's like, I don't care what Marvin Gaye looks like. He sounds incredible.
Yeah. That's fair. That's very fair. I feel like it's a what is that called? Like an inversely relational, like they're inversely related. The better you look, the worse you become. And that is true for The Weeknd. The Weeknd used to be great, and he's just been on a steady decline. The more he turns into a regular light-skinned nigga, the worse he gets. I'm like, please, just grow the hair back out.
I think that fame is a disease, and it makes you work less. It's almost like riding a bike downhill, whereas like you already got up there and now you're going down, and it's just like, I don't need to work I have so much momentum. I don't need to work as hard, and I don't need to pedal as hard because I'm already moving. Whew.
I can't wait till I get lazy. My God.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So he's like, I can put out whatever because people will listen to it regardless. You kind of see that with like comics.
Listening, and I hate that for y'all. Comics do the same shit?
Sometimes. Well, I mean, there's a thing where you'll go on, or comics will go on stage, and because they're already famous, everybody's laughing, regardless. It doesn't matter who it is. You're so famous that you don't really have to work out a thought. So your material will either get worse or stay in the same place and stay stagnant.
I was gonna name a couple people by name that I feel like fall into that, but I'm not. Because you have a career in this.
Oh God, yeah. Chill.
Yeah. I'm gonna let them rock. Anyway, let's move on to the main topic. We're talking about Kung Fu today.
Yes.
Like I said, I don't know, and I literally don't know shit about Kung Fu. I researched it for this podcast, and here's what I came up with. I'm gonna give you a little brief synopsis, and then Garrick, I'm gonna let you talk about Kung Fu and your thoughts behind it and all that stuff.
Let's do it.
Kung Fu is a primarily unarmed Chinese martial art resembling karate, okay? The rest of this information came from a video from The Guardian that was on YouTube. It was a very informative video. It was really good. I'll link it. I might not. I might forget. But here's information. Kung Fu comes to the States in the 1970s, and it's often featured themes of resistance, which coincided with the Black Power movement of the time. The term white devils was a common phrase in Kung Fu films. That says a lot. I like that. Mm-hmm. Kung Fu shifted the blaxploitation genre away from relying solely on negative stereotypes of blackness and began depicting the black leads in a more positive, heroic way, akin to the way leads in Kung Fu films were portrayed. And the leads in blaxploitation films were doing martial arts. Also, they began doing martial arts. So that's a little brief synopsis of the Kung Fu genre. Garrick, questions for you.
Yes.
Have you ever done any martial arts?
Yes, I have. I've been, I did when I was soul searching after high school. I did Krav Maga for like 4 or 5 years. And then I picked up Muay Thai after that. So since I was like 18, I had been on and off, but I love it. There is a weird camaraderie that kind of comes during like our Krav Maga classes. We had this thing called like the White Night, where you work out from 6 p.m. to 6 o'clock in the morning. So you're literally the most tired you've ever been in your life. And the only reason why you keep going is because of the people around you doing it. So with that, I feel like that is the spirit of martial arts. Is suffering together, because you always see these Kung Fu movies and they're just like all about resilience and pushing through your boundaries or pushing through a glass ceiling and all of that stuff. So when you're taking that spirit into working out, it's just really nice to see. It's a really nice depiction of resolve.
Okay. And when you're working out from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., first of all, how many times did you do that?
I did that 4 times.
You did it every year that you did Krav Maga? You did that 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. shit?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What does that even mean? Like, how do you wake up? How do you work out for 12 hours?
It's just silly stuff that he would make up throughout the night. So it was like mostly, practicing strikes and all that stuff, mostly cardio stuff. And then as the dawn broke, we were like on the beach. So like the actual dojo was by Santa Monica Pier, and we would run to the pier, run on the beach, run into the water, run back, all kinds of like weird stuff that truly like and that's like in the morning. That's after you've been working out for probably like 8 hours, right? So you're so tired and so over it, and now you're being thrown into a current. Now you're being thrown into waves. It just...
And something about that was like, for you were like, yeah, I want to do it again.
Yeah,
and
again.
And again.
Because it every time it would come up, it's almost tapping into the toxicity that's in all males, where it's just like, man, I ain't no bitch. Like, bro, I'm going to do this. I'm going to fucking do this. I'm not going to lose out to the other guys that are doing this. I need to be able to keep... It wasn't even competitive. It was just the fact that I need you to see that I can keep up with you.
It was competitive for you in your head.
Yes.
It was competitive.
Yeah.
That sounds psychotic.
But like after you do it, after you're done, there's this weird form of euphoria where you're like, I can't believe I finished that. I cannot believe that this happened. I cannot believe that I've done this 4 times.
If it's one thing you could do, it is, what is that called? Delayed gratification. You're good at delayed gratification. You're going to do the hard thing now in hopes that it pays off later.
Yeah, it's like it's a patience thing.
There. Yeah, I don't have it. Hoping to get there, but that's crazy. I can't believe you did that shit 4 years in a row. I knew you did it once, and I saw the photos of you going into the water or something.
Yeah,
4 times is absolutely insane.
Truly painful. Truly painful, but it's gonna stick out in my mind. It's like one of those. It's the same reason why anybody does like those Tough Mudder races or the Spartan races or anything like that, or a marathon. It's just like
marathon. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just it's so crazy that I trained for this and then finished it, and now I get to say that I did it to my kids later.
Running a marathon is so crazy to me. I can't even imagine at all.
Yeah, that does sound that whole like, people run in and then their nipples are bleeding. I'm like, yo, you should go home.
I'm sorry?
Have you not seen people's nipples bleed from chafing?
I'm sorry. From what do you mean? Please.
You're not wearing like the tape over your nipples and whatnot or whatever. Your shirt will rub up against your nipples so often that it'll chafe and bleed.
You are the fuck lying.
No. It's wild.
What type of sadistic, wild shit is that?
It's wild. It's truly disgusting. But people do it and they love it and they get like the runner's high and they're just like,
That's not real. That's a myth.
That's a myth. I feel like it's a myth too.
Capitalism.
I feel like it's a myth too. I feel like it's a weird sadistic way or a sadistic way that runners try to convince themselves that this is good for them or a good thing, even though that running that distance is not good. Yeah.
It's not even good for you. It's bad for your knees. Garrick ran. You used to be a runner boy, a runner on the track star.
And my knees are fucked. Like my knees hurt constantly.
And yeah, he always still trying to kick somebody. Always still trying to do a little Tai Chi or Krav Maga or what is it?
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai. Why do I always say Tai Chi? How do I get there?
I don't know. The Thai. Honestly.
That's what it is.
It's just like, Thai. Thai is a Thai like a Thai? Is some kind of Thai?
He be doing some
is it tippy Thai? Tai
I
Chi?
absolutely thought it was tippy Thai. Anyways, what's your favorite Kung Fu based art? It could be a film, it could be a song, whatever. I don't know if anime is kung fu based, but it could be, whatever.
It's probably the films. It's probably the films because the way that they choreograph stuff, especially nowadays, like in the modern era, they've gotten so good at. In a lot of like modern films, they'll do this thing, and Jackie Chan is probably attributed to this, but they'll do this thing where they'll have the camera be like shaky to show motion or whatever, to show that, and kind of like hide the fact that the actors aren't moving as fast. Like in all of the Bourne movies, it's just like, oh, move with his hand, and it looks like it's going super fast. Oh my gosh. But in actuality, it's not. Whereas in kung fu films, in martial arts films, they want to showcase the martial art. So they want to showcase how good these people are at doing the fighting, doing the choreography. Okay. So they kind of play it like comedy, where they play it in the wide and just have them like go at it for a while and just show the choreo. It's almost like a dance where it's just like, you don't want to zoom in on people doing choreo in a music video. You want to zoom out and kind of let them, do it at the same time, so you can see people, Jabberwocky's doing the poppets and the lockets and all that shit. So you want to see all of that because you've been practicing this thing for years, and you want to put it on display. I feel like that is, I don't want to say like the ultimate, because they're not really hitting each other. You're not, whenever you do kung fu or you do Muay Thai in real life, it doesn't look like that. But when it is on display and shown, it is incredible. It is incredible to watch. It's truly like breathtaking to watch somebody kind of miss somebody else and like counter perfectly and all of that stuff. Like there's this series of movies called The Ip Man. It's talking about Bruce Lee's teacher, and just watching him do, I forgot the name of his martial art, but watching him do it is incredible.
Oh yeah. Back to the point that you made about, like you said, in a music video, when you want to see the wide because you want to see the choreography that they're doing. That's a really good point, because
it's called Wing Chun.
Wing Chun is the type of martial arts that he was doing. In music videos, like if you are cutting too often, or like you're too tight in the shots, that lets me know that the person's not dancing. Dance.
They can't dance.
Yeah, like they can't dance, and you're trying to cut and make it look cool and dynamic because they're not cool and dynamic.
Right, exactly.
Which definitely makes sense for choreography.
Right. When you go to a Britney Spears fucking music video, that shit is wide as hell because she's hitting that bitch. She's hitting that shit constantly.
Tell the girls about Brit Brat. Tell the girls.
she's fucking all that shit. Period. Like it's like, goddamn. So when you go to like more modern music videos where people can rely on the camera tricks, and then you go and see them live, it's just like, you weren't built for this. That's a shame.
Wow. Right. No, very much that. You are not built for this, and you actually suck, and I hate that for you. Yes. Who's your favorite martial artist? Do you have a favorite martial artist? Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan?
I like Tony Jaa a lot. He's a Muay Thai guy.
Oh, you saying names I ain't never heard in my life.
Oh, yeah, I like Tony Jaa. But there's a guy in this series of films called The Raid. It's 2 movies, and
like the Megan Thee Stallion song.
I'm sorry, what? Like the Megan Thee Stallion song.
Mm-hmm. Running through your nigga house like a Tomb Raider.
Like a Tomb Raider? No, I'm not talking about Tomb Raider.
Okay.
But
okay.
I am talking about The Raid. But I'm looking up his name as well.
Okay.
Anyway, his name is Aiko something. Anyway, he is incredible. Like in the Raid movies, you're usually in martial arts films. It's usually super traditional and like super, somebody wearing a martial arts gown and they're going into like either feudal Japan or old China and all that stuff, and they're doing the moves and they're doing the kata and all that stuff, and it's really respectful. Mm-hmm. In the Raid movies, all of that shit goes out the window. This is a nigga like with a knife trying to kill you as quickly as possible. whatever this martial arts style is, it is as brutal. It's truly disgusting.
And that's why you like it.
And it's such a shocking difference from going from like the Legend of the Drunken Master with Jackie Chan to this. You're watching somebody again be the son of a dojo of a martial arts master or a dojo owner and all that stuff, teaching people how to do martial arts. And his son is developing his own style and being drunk, and it's Jackie Chan, and he's being hilarious while fighting, and that's like a skill on its own. We can get back to that later. But you go from that to The Raid, where there is a scene where a guy, beats somebody up, stabs him like 3 times, takes his head and jumps through a door and forces dude's neck on like the ridge of the door. I knew that martial arts could probably look more brutal than it was. I think the most brutal I had seen at that time was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where they're like, they're like kind of murdering each other with like swords and shit. But going to that is even Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was like watching someone do a suspended ribbon dance. It's just like all flowy and beautiful.
It was
and
beautiful.
Then this is like the most metal martial arts I've ever seen, and it is fucking
this is
amazing.
Your fave?
Yes.
Of sickness. Yes. Oh my
gosh.
No.
As somebody that's grown up watching them, the stark difference is just so amazing. It's so dope to see. I swear to you, like,
you know what? You had too much martial arts. You had enough. You had like a lot of kung fu or whatever, and it wasn't satisfying you enough. It was like a gateway drug. Like when you start off with a little bit of, you just do one little bit of a hit of crack. And next thing you know, you're on heroin addict. As well as meth, because crack not hitting no more how it needs to. So now you gotta find the next high. That's what it is. You went from regular violence to extreme violence, and that was your new fave. It sounds like a sickness.
It's not a sickness at all. It's not a sickness because it's like, I feel like the same way in music where it's just like somebody playing a guitar, somebody playing an acoustic guitar is beautiful. So is somebody fucking playing with both of their hands doing a metal riff, and it's just like causing something disturbing. But it's just like, God damn.
Garrick listening to some fucking metal in the gym or just random times, just throwing on some metal. That sounds beautiful to you. As an avid emo girl and an electric guitar girl, you see the shirt, My Chemical Romance shirt on right now. I can't get into the metal.
I bet you the guitarist of My Chemical Romance has seen like Eddie Van Halen play the guitar and be like, yo, this is fucking, God damn, this is wild. Or any of like the Pantera dudes, like they're really fucking going for it. And I think that you can appreciate the spectrum is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
I'm sure that Jackie Chan would look at Tony Jaa's films and be like, oh my God, he's really going for it. This is crazy. There's some like behind the scenes stuff that Tony Jaa does with him and his stuntmen. And he's really kicking these niggas. Like he's running, and with Muay Thai, the contact points are your joints. So it's your knuckles, your elbows, and your knees.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you were kicking somebody like in their kneecaps or like trying to like bend their elbow. And I was about to say that's.
I mean, that's most martial arts. They'll go for your joints most of the time.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how traumatizing.
Yeah. But like the behind the scenes stuff, you're seeing him do like a flying knee, which is him getting a running start and kneeing somebody in the chest and then kicking them across the room. And I'm like, yo, these guys are really, they're doing the contact. That's crazy. So when you watch the movie and you see them actually get hit, they're actually getting hit. It's not like a fake thing. And that's, I think, incredible.
That's actually wild as fuck. Actually, very much incredible. Absolutely wild as fuck and insane as well. There are so many American Black references to Kung Fu in general.
Yeah.
in the world. Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang Clan, I think, really opened the floodgates with that.
100%. Founding member Wu-Tang Clan, RZA and ODB apparently saw Shaolin versus Wu-Tang in 1983. RZA loved it. Still one of his favorite movies to today. And formed Wu-Tang Clan based on that. He said he could identify with the themes of the movie. Like, it was like familial and us against them type situation, and also about resistance and whatever. He said a whole bunch of stuff. But that, like, inspired him.
Right. And I feel like as we, talk about the race of it all, a lot of the themes that either Chinese filmmakers or Japanese filmmakers were going through were the same as Black Americans. So you're looking at people being resilient, and you're like, we should have this type of resilience. How do we do that? And we learned, some people took up a martial art because that's the only other thing that was telling you how to, take up arms or defend yourself and all of that stuff. So you have like the Michael J. Whites, or you have, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in that one in Enter the Dragon.
I was going to say that. Yeah. In that Kung Fu movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just we just relate to those themes so much. And then it's just nice not seeing white people on screen all the time.
It's nice seeing like a non-white man hero, or like as the protagonist.
Yeah. It's were you gonna say something? I'm sorry, I kind of paused.
Okay, I was gonna talk about Kung Fu Kenny as well. Kung Fu Kenny twofold: Rush Hour's Don Cheadle's character from Rush Hour 2, and then obviously Kendrick Lamar's alter ego during his Damn era. There's just like so much of it in Black culture. Did you know, you remember the song Kung Fu Fighting?
Yeah.
Everybody was Kung Fu fighting.
Yeah.
You know that's a Jamaican man?
I knew it was a Black man. I didn't know it was a Jamaican man.
That's a Jamaican
it
man.
Makes sense.
Named Carl Douglas. That song sold 11 million records worldwide, and is one of the best-selling singles of all time.
Of all time?
Kung Fu Fighting. Of all time. One of the best-selling singles of all time.
It's such a easy song, and then also people just fucking love Kung Fu. Like, it's just
they do.
Cool. Nobody knew that, because I guess that's fucked up. Anyway, nobody really knew that you could do these types of things with your body. Like, it was kind of just like this hidden art that just came across the pond.
That's a great point.
In such a huge way, where you're just like, yo, they're fucking doing backflips into niggas' knees. Like, what?
Bodies?
With their body?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, he just did a flip kick. What kind of stuff? And then also you have video games coming out where you have like fighting games showcasing Kung Fu. You have like Street Fighter 1 and 2 coming out, and that's taking its own.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
The video game of it all.
Its own like chunk of space in pop culture, to where there was just a certain period of time where everybody had Kung Fu fever. Everybody was trying to learn how to do things. And then they got, Chuck Norris, world karate champion, and they're just like, we finally got a white man. Oh my God, thank God. Thank God he finally got one back on top. I feel like America would have fallen apart if Chuck Norris didn't come. If
they didn't get them a white man that could come and martial art them up.
Yeah. I truly believe that once you saw someone actually do the art and actually fight, and it took away from the cowboyness of it all, where I think that's what was on TV primarily at that time. Mm-hmm. And you're just like seeing somebody kill from a distance. There's this one quote, I don't know who said it, but worst invention that man created was the ability to kill from a distance, because you don't get to see your opponent pass. You don't get to see them.
Carry that.
The impact of how hurtful that can be to take a life. And I feel like, again, with a lot of Kung Fu movies, life is so beautiful and substantial, and they really take care of the weights of it all, to where it's just like the hero always hesitates before actually hitting somebody and doing that like palm thing in their chest and all that stuff to make their heart explode. It's just like, I'm sorry I had to do this to you, man. Or that's a Kill Bill reference.
I forgot about that. That's crazy. That's like in Spider-Man, when in the last Spider-Man we saw, what was that? What was that one called?
Far From Home.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
No Way Home. Oops.
No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home. When Andrew Garfield's character was saying that he got bitter and angry and he stopped pulling his punches back.
Yeah.
That's just what that made me think of. When he said pulling his punches back, he meant like he was trying to kill niggas, right?
He was trying to kill niggas for real. Because they are, you know, he could lift a bus and stop a train mid-motion and then also hit a normal person in the face and not kill them or like make their face explode. So he's saying, I'm not doing that anymore. I am going to fully hit you in the chest as hard as I can, and that will make a normal human probably implode. So yeah, he's not pulling his punches anymore, and it's truly like disturbing. It would have been a very gruesome set of movies. Once again, we have white man doing something a little bit savage. Yeah. And we have non-white man, the Kung Fu men, doing things the humane and natural way, putting their hands on people's hearts and squeezing them to stop the pain. Yeah. Point proven, that's it. Yeah, it is the humanity of it all. There are certain things in Kung Fu movies where it's just like, I need to help my fellow brother, whether or not we're fighting right now. And I think that is, again, the beauty of it, where, I mean, we watch Rod Tang fight all the time. Rod Tang. Our guy, that's our Rod boy. Hit Jong Young or something like I don't want to say. I don't even know his damn last name. Yeah, his last name is Rod Tang was his last name. No, Rod Tang is his first name. Wow. His name is not Jimmy Rod Tang. His name is Rod Tang. Jimmy Rod Tang. If y'all have never seen, like, if you are into MMA or anything of the sort, just Google Rod Tang. Rod Tang. It is phonetic. Is a fucking menace. He's a monster. It's crazy. They call him the Iron Man. I don't even spoil the surprise and say like exactly what he does, but go, Garrick. They call him the Iron Man. They call him the Iron Man. I won't spoil the surprise either. Just watch him. But I brought him up to say, like, this is somebody who is so brutal, who is literally like just beating the shit out of other people for money constantly. He has over 500 fights, and I think he's won 3/4 of them. So this is somebody who does that for money. And then after every fight, he is just as humble as humanly possible. He's bowing to the person. Shocking. It's shocking every single time. He's talking shit mid-fight. Like, come on, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. But he does all of that out of respect, one, for his opponent and respect for the art itself. Because it's a religion to these guys. The art of combat is a way of life, and the only way that they can practice their way of life is through assaults, which is, damn. It's the unfortunate truth of it all, but it's what they believe, and it's something that when you fight someone, you truly like get down on your knees and be like, man, thank you so much for pushing me to this point. And that's why I feel like tall people are a menace to society, because they've never had that. They've never fought. They've never fully one-on-one somebody, because nobody can reach them. Nobody's going to be like, I'm going to swing on this dude. Pussy! Yeah, right. Like, nobody's like been like, yo, let's go outside. I will. I'll do it. Oh, you do it? You got that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll fight somebody. Get him there. You know who else I feel like would quickly 1v1 somebody? Nicki Minaj. And I will end on some lyrics from Nicki that includes, I'll end on a couple lyrics. The first one being from a song, a little Nicki song. Minaj fights. For sure. A little song called Motorsport by Migos, and Nicki Minaj is featured on it. And she says, oh, she doesn't say Kung Fu specifically. She talks about Jackie Chan. Rap Jackie Chan, we ain't pulling them fake stunts. My crown won't fit on your bum ass lace fronts. Ooh.
just embedded in the culture. She's obviously...
She calls herself Chun-Li all the time. That is a Street Fighter character yet again.
Yeah, yes. She be talking about, I'm the bad guy, Chun-Li. I hear that Chun-Li's not even the villain.
She's not the villain in
maybe
the
Nikki don't
Street
actually
Fighter.
be paying attention. Yeah,
she's not.
She
but
don't. Yeah,
but hey, she still said it. She still raised the stars of Street Fighter.
She understands she's here.
She understands.
Another reference to Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan seems to be the one that niggas really.
Jackie Chan is the one. When Jackie Chan, if anything happens to my boy, I will be heartbroken. This is again somebody who I was raised with. This represented a great time with me and my father of just watching Jackie Chan movies.
You said you were raised with him. He don't know you.
But
he doesn't know you.
He doesn't know. That's fine. That's okay. I'm not the one to be a fan of anybody, but listen, I will, if Jackie Chan were to walk across the street, I will run past and either bow or start crying, all kinds of stuff.
Not your bow.
Yeah, I'll shit. Listen, I'll learn the most basic of Mandarin to talk to this man.
Wow, you about to Google to talk to Jackie Chan. You know what? That's fair. Here's the final lyric from Kanye West, a song called All Day, where he says, shout out to Jackie Chan, I need to stunt right now. They be looking at the gram. I'll be looking at the gram. He's like, that's us right now. So people really respect that Jackie Chan does.
People respect Jackie Chan.
That seems to be the thing.
Jackie Chan does all of his own stunts. He was Bruce Lee's stuntman for a while, or he was part of that group of stunt people, and did all of his own stunts. There's one in I believe it's called Chinatown, where he broke his leg, and he's still doing a stunt. They made a sock over his cast that looked like a shoe, and he's still doing stunts. That's how much he respects the art of it all.
It's insane.
It's not just him trying to make a movie, trying to finish a movie. It is him bringing love to his religion.
That's truly insane. Meanwhile, I can't even box with my damn sprained wrist. Americans just not built the same. We not built the same. That's it for this episode. Thank you for joining me, Garrick. I appreciate you.
Of course.
Taking the time.
Of course. Not a problem.
Can you tell them where you're gonna be found? Yes. That's yes. Where can they find you?
They can find me at Garrick Bernard on Instagram and Twitter. I don't tweet anymore.
And on the Guilty Pleasures podcast.
With
where he talks about
my girl and my boys, Zach and Kelsey. We talk about movies that are underappreciated and overappreciated. Who knows? It's just how we feel that day.
I've been on a couple episodes of that. If y'all want to go check them out, I was on the Cheetah Girls episode and the Gossip Girl episode because girl shit is what I do. Garrick is not on those episodes. I was filling in for him.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
That's it?
Yes, I believe that is it. If you would like to find us, you can find us at BPLP Pod across all platforms. If you have a topic that you think we should cover, you can email us at blackpeopleloveparamore@gmail.com. Rate us. Again, Spotify now allows you to rate podcasts, so go ahead and do that. 5 stars only. Like I said, I saw somebody give us a little 4 stars. Don't do that. Don't do that again. Don't play with me. Don't give us no damn 4 stars. Never been a 4-star bitch in my life. Always been 5 stars. So go ahead and make that move. If you actually have something to say, write out a review on Apple Podcasts. That is very helpful to me. I'm Sequoia, your co-host per usual. And that's it. Bye. Say bye, Garrick. Tell the bye.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Bye.
Bye, y'all.